Hey everybody! So, most Shinobi builds focus either on damage or invisibility. But what if you could do both while also healing your team and completely controlling the battlefield? Today, I'm going to show you one of the most underrated Shinobi builds in Ghost of Yōtei Legends. The Healing Blind Bomb plus the Weakening Smoke Bomb combo, and if you play this right, you become untouchable. This build is all about stealth control, team support, and assassination damage. You're not just killing enemies, you're deciding when fights happen, who gets seen, and who disappears. Let's break down the core of the build. So on the screen, you're gonna have the build with all the properties and perks. If you need to, you can just take a screenshot of this and that's your build. Now, at the center of this setup, there are two legendaries. We have the Healing Blind Bomb and we have the Weakening Smoke Bomb. And we pair that with the Shadows by Charm, fully focused on assassination damage. So this is a pure Shinobi playstyle. You're chaining stealth, you're disabling enemies, you're deleting targets before they even react. And this works because of how stealth tools function in the game. For example, smoke bombs obscure your position and let you escape or reposition safely. And blind bombs act like a flashbang style tool that disrupts enemies and creates openings. So when you combine these two effects, you're constantly resetting fights. Now, for the techniques, we are running Group Vanish, and I always like Group Vanish better than anything else. It has so much more utility, especially in the raid bosses. Just in general, making your friend group disappear is super useful, a lot more useful than Toxic Vanish, and it has a lower cooldown. It's 50 seconds instead of a minute. On our second perk, we're going with assassination damage because we are stacking assassination damage with this build, so that just makes sense. On our third perk, we're using Shinobi decoys. Honestly, there's just not a better option here. I guess you could run Spirited if you want the extra spirit. I don't use it very much, but it's a good option. Personally, I like having all the little clones run around and tank stuff for you. And then on the third perk, we're doing Shadow Strike Vanish. I really like this one because I don't use the ultimate on the Shinobi as much as uh, like a really powerful attack. I just use it more of a control weapon. Like I will, if we have an elite or a prime or something, I will use my 3 attacks on it, disappear, and then assassinate it. So this is the techniques. Now, let's start with the first legendary, the Healing Blind Bomb. This is the foundation of the build. Normally, blind bombs are used to disorient enemies and interrupt them, but this version adds something huge. It heals allies while still blinding enemies, and it creates an area that conceals movement. So now, instead of just creating openings, you're also acting as a support player. You can heal your team mid fight, you can blind enemies before they react, and you can safely move through the area without being detected. This is what turns the build from good into team carry level. Now, I see a lot of confusion on how to actually use these bombs, and basically, it's simple enough. You have to throw these bombs at enemies before they see you. Because if they have seen you, you will not be able to get crit or assassinations. Or, I mean, you might be able to, but it's very weird. It's very wonky. So what I like to do is I like to combine it with the smoke bomb. So if I can throw down a smoke bomb and then throw a couple of bombs, that's awesome because that makes it, when you throw the smoke bomb, it makes it so an enemies technically aren't seeing you, and then when you throw the blind bombs, it makes it so that a whole area is available to get assassinations. Now let's talk about the weakening smoke bomb. Now this is where things get super fun because your second legendary is a smoke bomb that not only breaks line of sight and hides your position, but it also weakens enemies inside the smoke and it has a lower cooldown than regular smoke bombs. Instead of 90 seconds, it's 75 seconds. So what does that mean? Every time you drop smoke, enemies lose track of you, you go invisible, and they take increased damage. Also, if your teammates are next to you, they will also disappear for a couple seconds. So this creates the perfect setup for assassinations. Now we stack everything with Shadow's Bite and we go all in on assassination damage. We don't split stats, we don't do any hybrid, just full commitment to assassination damage. Because once enemies are blinded, weakened, and unable to see you, they're already dead. This is what makes this build so consistent. You're not relying on weapon damage, you are relying on guaranteed openings. So here's your core loop for this build. Whenever possible, you want to engage from stealth. You always want to start fights undetected. And this is important because blind type tools work best when enemies haven't fully detected you yet. So you start from stealth, you get your two assassinations, and then you can drop. There's a weakening smoke bomb, you go invisible, everything's weakened, you reposition freely, you get one or two more kills. If you have your blind bombs, you throw them as soon as you throw the smoke, and then this basically lets you chain assassinations and pick off targets one by one. So you should already be hitting hard because of the charm. Like you should be able to assassinate most enemies if you have your charm max out to S rating. Now, after you do this, you can use your healing blind bomb to heal teammates, to blind remaining enemies, to stay concealed inside the area. So you are basically repositioning the fight, or resetting the fight rather, so you can reposition and then go invisible again and repeat. So this build is very powerful when you play it correctly. So here are some key tips for this build. One, don't panic and use your bombs when you panic. Like these are not really panic buttons, and I'm talking about the blind bombs. These are setup tools. These are setups for assassinations, for just basically giving you breathing room. So yeah, use them thoughtfully. Number two, always think in stealth cycles. Enter on scene, disrupt, assassinate, reset, repeat. Number three, positioning matters more than damage. If enemies see you too early, you lose the advantage. This build rewards control, not aggression. Four, try to play around your team. The healing from your blind bomb makes you incredibly valuable. You're not just DPS, your support, your control, and your damage all in one. So yeah, this Shinobi build isn't just strong, it is one of the most complete playstyles that I found in the game. You're healing, you're controlling, you're disappearing, you're killing enemies all at the same time. So if you've been struggling to make Shinobi feel powerful, you should try this. Once it clicks, you won't go back. Now, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful in any way, and if you enjoy my content and want to support the channel, there are a few simple ways you can help. First, share this video with a friend or someone who you think would enjoy it. It really makes a difference. Second, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. And third, if you'd like to go the extra mile, you can support me by heading over to buymeacoffee.com/allbashgaming. In there, you can buy me a coffee and you can even get some of my Ghost of Yōtei inspired artwork for free. I appreciate you all and I will catch you on the next video.
Pues yo diría que no, el man ya estaba muy wide, so muy spread. No era muy tight, la verdad. Una mentira.